I'm gonna do Oh Dear Heavens by myself? On this episode of Chucklefux, we're gonna talk about gays. And I don't know. I'm probably a sports guy. Something like that. On last episode of Chucklefux, we had Kennedy on the pod. That does it. I don't know why we chose to do the podcast outside. But it's a nice change of pace for once. It was nice having Kennedy on the podcast. I guess that's our second official guest, unofficial guest. I guess Bert would be the first one. Welcome back.
I have a really bad habit of chugging whatever liquid I have on hand until it's completely finished. And I had, before we recorded the podcast, I have gotten one of those 2-liter drink at the liquor store along with Eric. And
you drink way too fast, man.
I do.
Is it like a habit thing?
It's a habit
definitely
thing.
a habit
It's
thing.
definitely a habit thing. I don't really think about it. I just chug.
Yeah.
So
it's like someone's gonna like steal your drink or something, and then you're like, go finish it all.
I don't know. Maybe some sort of childhood trauma.
If anything, that should have been on me
is.
because both my sisters did that whenever I shared a drink with them.
Well, take it from me, a guy that actually does it. It's pretty fucking bleak. During the last recording episode, I have finished an entire 2-liter bottle.
That's
in
insane.
that span.
It takes me like a few days because I don't know.
Well, so let me tell you the side effect of that, right? I had to piss so bad that when I went to piss, it basically fucking vacated more space in my insides than it was initially designed for, because my organs are sitting at such a place to adjust for the bladder inflation that as soon as it all empty out, I had like a cramp for like a good 5 minutes, which is why while you were talking out here, I finished my piss relatively quick. I had to lay down on the couch because my back and my lower spine was stressed, and the cramp on my stomach was just unbearable. So I have to sit down.
You gotta slow down, man. You gotta slow down with your drinking.
7 minutes or so, just resting my back before I get to come outside again.
You know what? Do you know what you don't drink fast?
What?
Alcohol or beer.
I don't drink fast, yeah, because
it takes you 2 whole days to finish like the fucking 16 ounce.
Well, I have an excuse. I get cancer.
We all do.
Yeah, but my rate is higher. Da 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 da.
If anything, Eric has the highest chance.
Alcohol wise? Wait, what makes you say he has the highest chance?
I don't know, all the fucked up shit that's going on with him. Internally.
I hope not.
How was your shit?
That was the driest shit I have ever taken in my entire fucking life.
Nothing to wipe?
No. Like there's some. I mean, it got wetter over time. I think I was like, it was a very clear indication that I was very dehydrated in the morning, and that I was very much not. Like later in the day, you know. I think I've had like not a lot of liquids, but
a good amount,
a healthier amount of liquids that, like, you know, everything else came out relatively nice. But that first push was, that was rough.
Some log of sandpaper passing through.
It literally was like, I felt like I was gonna pass out.
I was just telling Josh how, because I was so incredibly hydrated throughout the last episode, because I finished drinking that whole bottle of Ariera thing.
Yeah.
I had like an implosion piss right now, right before coming back. And I told Josh that the piss itself only took like a minute or two, but I had to take like a 5-minute break on the couch because of the muscle cramp and the back pain that I felt after that piss.
I'm telling you, he's got to chill out on his drinking, man. He drinks way too fast.
We both have very exciting bathroom time.
I don't know if it was exciting. I was just like,
eventful.
you know the video
terrible.
of the guy that's of
That
like
just
that
turns
black
red?
guy.
Oh.
The black guy that's like breathe in and then like it's the duo of the guy like that breathes in and then doesn't breathe out. That was me. I was like,
Breathe in, and he just starts talking.
breathe in. A man that has dots only have dots to think about.
It's something like that,
Some
yeah.
shit like that.
Were you there, Junior, when I said I'm becoming a sandwich guy now?
I think so, yes.
But only, I feel like the best spread is sourdough, honestly.
Sourdough is good. Sourdough is good.
Sourdough is a good bread.
I would like to try the onion rolls Jeff talked about, though.
I mean, onions are like a S tier vegetable ingredient, you know?
I
But in
think
the bread?
a lot of people don't like onions, but onions really versatile, you know?
Mhm.
Onion is just...
It's a good flavor profile. That and garlic.
Garlic is like S, like triple S tier.
Should we do
Ingredient.
sandwich ingredient tier list?
Sandwich ingredient tier list. Okay.
I don't know if there's a... well, I guess we could go through every ingredient ever.
Whatever you can think of, like
Your
every
mom,
type of cheese.
your
Yeah.
dad.
Every type of cheese, every type of bread.
You think your parents would go good in a sandwich? What family member goes the best in a sandwich?
Before we get into what family member would try to...
Do you want to get warmer stuff?
No, I'm fine.
Are you
Sure.
I'm
you
really
wanna-
shaking because of that energy drink.
Someone's killing their dog.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Good.
talking about, that corner house. Those dogs just bark.
No, I think they're fighting for their lives over there.
Oh, you're right. I thought they had a greyhound back there, but I haven't seen that greyhound in a while.
I think, according to our landlord, it's their friend's dog or something.
Ah,
Okay, so they probably take care of them every once in a while or something.
yeah.
Um,
I would like to own a greyhound.
I thought you were gonna say I would like to own a jetpack. I was like,
Me too.
I
You
think
know
we
what?
all
Me too.
would.
I would love to own anything that's cool.
You know those like water jetpacks?
Oh
With the,
yeah,
Those
arm,
look
the ones that
interesting.
shoot out through the
Yeah.
arms. And
Yeah.
we should make one with air.
They have one, I think. They use jet fuel though. Don't fly very far, because
Oh,
you know
well, then
fuel.
it's not using air.
you want like a personal helicopter? Helicopter.
He wants
Maybe
to
that's
spec a
using-
gadget. Jetpack where it just it's like one of the hats that just twirl around.
Oh, yo!
You have to like start it up. You just like go gadgets
Go gadget
helicopter.
go gadget slave.
No. Hello everyone. Welcome to episode 36 of the Chucklefux
Go
podcast.
gadget podcast.
Go gadget to episode 36 of the podcast.
Go Gadget Ford F-150.
Go gadget. Follow and subscribe and comment.
Go gadget social media plug.
Go gadget racist slurs.
Go
gadget.
gays.
Gays. No.
This sounds like a stand attack.
Gays.
Go gadget preferred slur here
For
for the next 5 minutes.
Gays.
Go gadget stand attack. Racism stand attack.
Go.
Wet back. Go
To pick up
gadget.
from last episode.
Go Gadget Bedsheet Ghost.
Go gadget KKK. Okay, go ahead, Josh.
To
Oh, you.
pick up from last episode, we're gonna talk about the subject that our friend Kennedy gave us. The female gaze.
Yeah, the female
and then
gaze.
The male
we'll expand
gaze
it to
and the gays.
the gaze gaze.
Well, gaze is me seeing Josh's testicles and being like,
I
testicles.
think that was part of the gaze gaze.
Got some fat nuts and be like, I had some of those. I wonder what those feel like.
As an active participant of both, how often do you use male gaze and how often do you use gaze gaze? What's the percentage we're
I
looking
think I
at
use male's gaze a lot on everyone, really, and then gaze is kind of like a fusion of the two.
So you do the fusion dance.
The
fusion of
go gadget fusion, huh?
God damn it.
Go gadget for tower earrings.
What are earrings? Go gadget Vegito. Which one is it, Vegito or Gogeta? I never
Or
fucking know.
the Patari earrings?
The Patari earrings and the fusion
that's
dance?
Vegito. The fusion dance is Gogeta.
Vegeta bomb.
Majin Vegeta.
Go Gadget sacrifice for no reason.
Go Gadget sacrifice in vain. Go Gadget Super Saiyan 3.
no reason.
Gadget sells drinking straw.
Go Gadget no eyebrows.
Go Gadget, get rid of my eyebrows.
Go Gadget yellow fever.
Whoa.
Go Gadget, I'm gay now.
Go Gadget, I saw a pair of nuts and I got turned up. And now I want some nuts on my face.
No, not like this.
Go Gadget, hard segue.
Go Gadget, hard segue to balls on my face and the gaze. That's what it is. Yeah, no, so to answer your question, I don't really know. I think I've always had an appreciation for both very pretty females and very pretty males and very pretty its. So, yeah, no, I can't really, yeah, I don't know.
I think as a general rule, I use the male gaze most of the time, but in an attempt to relate and make conversation with someone that holds a female gaze, I would switch to the gaze.
That's fair. Yeah, no,
briefly.
I think like
I think it's 50-50 for me.
that's fair. I think hands are like hands, forearms are an attractive thing. Necks, backs, pussy, am I crack?
Those are attractive things.
My neck and my back.
Go Gadget, fusion of the gaze and not knowing which one's which.
Go Gadget, I'm confused.
Go Gadget, I'm confused, claiming by curiosity. Go Gadget, what the fuck is this boner for?
Go Gadget, who put this here? Who put my boner here?
Go Gadget, why the fuck am I so hard right now? I'm looking at a wall.
Oh, go Gadget, Viagra.
Go Gadget, some bitch ripped my dick off with their pussy.
Go Gadget, that sucker's too good.
Go Gadget, my soul is leaving my body through my dick hole.
Go Gadget, combine attack. Dick piercing and braces.
All right.
Go Gadget, rip. Go Gadget, ow.
Go Gadget, ow, that hurts a lot.
Ouchies.
Oopsies.
I don't know why this whole Go Gadget thing is so fucking funny. Oh,
we
man.
played the finals that went on for so long. And then Jaden gets angry a lot during when we play the finals.
Yeah, I sometimes get a little bit too annoyed of how bad we are at the game, but also about how like sweaty a lot of the players on that game are now.
It's just too sweaty sometimes.
It's so fucking sweaty. Like it's never like that serious, you know?
It's one team that's like super sweaty and the other teams are just not, they're not trying
They're like
at all.
fucking all. They're like kind of just doing whatever, not really giving a shit, you know?
Yeah. They prioritize the wrong people,
Yeah.
which
yeah.
is like themselves.
Sometimes it's like really fun, and then sometimes I just get really fucking annoyed. It's a good game though. I have a lot of fun with it. What are your thoughts, Jay? Do you like the finals, especially since you don't lag anymore?
I do like the finals because of just pure chaos. I'm the type of guy that likes complete utter chaos in the game,
Yeah.
and the finals is one of those games that gives that consistently
Mm-hmm.
every single time, you know?
I
Yeah,
like when there's just one team that just destroys a whole building for no reason.
Yeah. Or when we play Minecraft in the finals.
No, our objective was every building at that point.
Yeah, that is true. Uh-huh. I always like trying to make my heavy like the ugliest fucking thing possible.
Jay
all
was
my
saying that
outfits.
throughout the whole night. Yesterday, he's
Yeah.
like, it gets worse every time,
Yeah.
every game.
I have like my little tin hat now. It's just so funny.
I mean, that's what you want with the heavy. You want to strike fear into the enemy's
Yeah, I
heart.
want them to be like,
First
what
time
the
to
fuck
lay
is
eyes.
that? I want to like psychologically, subconsciously confuse them by them not knowing if I'm a woman or a man.
Like,
I
if
missed
we
out.
can, I would like us to have some sort of gear to like make our silhouette inhuman. You know? Just looks
cool.
like
Oh, the alien outfit would be so good on the heavy.
Remember when I put the helmet on?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get that
Makes
now.
the head so big.
I'm so close to getting the wedding outfit, so I'm gonna put that on next.
Oh yeah. I wonder if the hitbox gets bigger with the helmet.
I don't think so.
It better not.
No.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think gear would.
I'm assuming the
towards that.
cosmetic is just slapped on top,
Yeah.
like every other like FPS game where the gear itself doesn't
No,
affect your
sometimes in
hitbox.
Apex it actually changes.
I think there's some games where like a cosmetic will straight up make your hitbox bigger.
Apex, Overwatch, Fortnite, they actually vary. In Fortnite, it varies a lot.
I was gonna say I think Fortnite. I heard that a lot about Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
That like sometimes if it's just like a bigger cosmetic or whatever, or if it sticks out like more than like usual, then you're just bigger.
There's this Stickman guy that they did, or that they added in Fortnite, and he had like a massive hitbox where people are like, if you're playing competitively, don't use this skin. And I was like, well,
I feel like once you get to that point where like, you know, you're so competitive that the skin matters, then you're not really playing it for fun anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Well, being competitive is like the fun part of them.
I think that's the part of like the finals that I do enjoy because it is competitive, but like if you get into the right lobby, which like we used to get into a lot of the time, like everyone is playing to be competitive, but like still to have fun. You know, they're just kind of like relaxing playing it. Whereas like remember that lobby that was like almost purely like
all
Asian?
Chinese.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Chinese or Japanese or whatever.
That was all Chinese last night.
Yeah, it was all Chinese people. Like that lobby was fucking AIDS. It was so fucking bad. Especially like sometimes when we run into hackers and stuff, it's just like why hack on that game? You know, like you don't gain anything. You know,
especially in pubs, it's like
it's like like you could do it in tournaments. Like sure, I mean why not? You know.
I mean, I feel like the most fun, at least for me personally, playing those games is that the amount of wacky shit that can happen. It's a great time.
Yeah. So let's go back to
the female gaze.
The female gaze. What are the things that?
I feel like it's different from the gays gaze.
Well, yeah, of course.
Well, I mean, I was memeing about like gays looking at people's nuts and stuff.
No, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure that there's some truth to that.
might have talked about this like off air before, but when I'm fucking around with like dating apps and stuff, I don't know if it's because they're just desperate for choice or if I look particularly gay, but I get so many just non-binary people matching with me.
I get a lot of dudes.
So maybe it's a twinkish energy that we give off. Who knows?
I think you both give off a fairly good amount of twinkish energy.
I think female gays are a little bit complicated because you can't just break it down to appearance.
I was having this thought while I was taking my fat shit that I don't maybe pass out. I was trying to think of like how to respond to this question or how I respond to this question because I don't really know. But to chalk it up to like all of the relationship experience that I have, which I'm not going to say is a lot, I think I'm at least like to me, I think the thing that makes me quote unquote attractive, and I think you guys would also feel this as well. It's not like just like a relationship that I exude. I think I have like a very strong sense of like intimacy in a way. Like I'm very intimate with the people that I want to be intimate with, if that makes sense. Like
you have a really good balance of sharing and not sharing because a lot of people overshare, a lot of people don't share enough. I think you're right at the sweet spot where you let people know exactly what they need to know, you know, especially if you're trying actively to be intimate with that person or, you know, build some sort of a relationship, friendship or relationship wise. I think you're very good at communicating both your intentions and like your thought process, and it's really easy to read what is happening, and that makes the whole like hanging out business a lot easier than if someone would to just be really aloof or whatnot.
I think I show a lot of like my gray area too, because I don't think I'm ever polarizing on any issues. I think if there was any kind of debate to show up or if there was any kind of conversation where there are two sides or multiple sides, whatever, I'm usually always in the gray area, or I'm very like clear on understanding like both sides. But I think to go back to the whole female gaze thing, I think the part that makes me quote unquote attractive to people who have been attracted to me, I think is an intimacy thing where I don't know if I would say that I wear my heart on my sleeve, but I'm very much like expressive with how I'm feeling or how I think.
I think that's a really important part.
Yeah, because I wouldn't say that I'm like the most attractive person in the world, and I'm not saying that from like a self-deprecating point of view. I'm just a dude, you know. But I think the other bits are what's quote unquote attractive, or at least like appealing.
From like me just chatting with people, I think like there's some qualities that we sometimes take for granted. Like sometimes you feel like you're just being a normal person, you know, but that normal person as a quality is not as common as you would think, you know. Like you would think that normal ethics and just generally not being a terrible person is like a universal thing that people know to do, but sometimes it's just not true, and it's, as depressing as that sounds, a little bit difficult to find a person that is on the same wavelength of understanding when it comes to that sort of stuff with you. And when you do find that same wavelength person, it becomes very easy to communicate with them and talk about whatever you want to, because you guys hold like the same sort of value, you know. And I feel like sometimes when we're talking about female gaze and all that, it's so many different complex like variation of reasons that people might be attracted to each other, that like we take for granted that just being normal and perceptive and, you know, understanding could actually go for way more points than you initially thought would go. At least that's what I think. Now, in terms of the male gaze,
well, we can always talk about that. It's
the
very
male
easy for
gaze
us.
is very easy. I think for me, in terms of like the things that I look for, it's not. I mean, of course, like attraction and physical prowess or
prowess. Whoa.
Or like
that's a visually powerful woman.
Wow.
She can pin me down.
She fucked the shit out of me. I bend over for her. I don't know. I think I'm sure that every guy, especially like two dudes who are getting to know each other, like I've been like, oh yeah, what kind of guy are you? Ass guy, whatever. What's the most important thing, or like what's the thing that you like notice? Like yeah, sure, you can talk about tits, ass, you know, thighs, thigh gap, fucking nose,
balls.
Whatever, balls, fat forehead. But I think for me, like when I say like personality, I truly mean personality, because I was a coworker was talking to me the other day, and we were on the topic of like cheating or like being unfaithful. We were talking about like this guy that we're like, oh man, we're like, is he actually unfaithful? Like, or is he just like a flirty guy? Oh, I think she was saying that like most men are like more likely to be unfaithful to like their partners and stuff, which I mean, I'm sure that there's truth to that, right? But I think it's more so that men are more likely to entertain that kind of attention when they are gaining that from somebody that's not their partner. How do I put this? Yeah, I mean, like this sounds like terrible, but I'm just being like 100% honest. But I think like the personality and the level of respect is a factor. And I'm talking about like whether or not I would entertain this person's attention, right? Or like entertain this person's like flirtation, or whether like whether or not I would actually do something about it and reciprocate those feelings and be unfaithful is outside of this question. But whether or not but whether or not I would entertain it and like let it go on and like say anything, as I think is big on the respect bit, right? So say if I was in a club, right, and chilling, doing my thing, and this person came up to me and started flirting with me, and say I'm not with my partner or whoever I'm with at the time, right?
Yeah.
If they come up to me and they don't know me at all, it's a complete stranger, and they start flirting with me, I might be like, okay, like it's fine, like they can say whatever they want, whether like my choice to do anything about that is my choice. I could decide to entertain this and go through with it or not, right? But it's not their fault that they are flirting with me because they don't know me and they would like to get to know me, etc., right?
Yeah, it's their freedom to talk about whatever they want to talk about with whomever they choose to talk about it with. It's rather, if you carry on that or not, that's your own ethical question to consider.
It's not your it's not your fault, but it's your responsibility to after that. And then where I was going with that, I just want to finish that thought. But say if I was at work, right, and my partner works with me, right? Most people, or if not all people at my place of work, knows who I'm with, and they know that my Mexican lover is my Mexican lover. They they know that I'm with that person. They know that I'm in a relationship with that person. Now, if somebody from my place of work were to start flirting with me despite that disrespect to Mexican lover, regardless of the place I'm at, like if I'm in a bad spot with them or not, whether like we're in the middle of a fight or whatever, just that blatant disrespect is immediately unattractive to me.
Yeah.
Because they know exactly what's going on. They know who I'm with. They know that they work here.
Yeah.
They know like who they are. They know that I'm with them.
Yeah.
Like they know, but they're still going to do it anyways. That part is immensely unattractive to me. And I like, no matter how hot they are, I'd be like, oh man, it's kind of unfortunate that they're so fucking banging hot, but they're really like disrespectful. And that immediately takes them down to like a 1 or a 2 for me, even if they're a 10 out of 10 looking person, you know?
I feel like that's also where I was going to go when we were talking about like, just someone coming up to you that doesn't know you and start flirting with you and stuff like that, right? I think it's very close in alignment to the respect that you're talking about. And I was going to say, if at that situation, right, you already have a partner and you're like, hey, very flattering, however, I'm taken, and they still keep going, that's also just an immediate
100%.
turn off, because it's just like, well, one, you don't respect my boundaries, and it's just something fundamentally worrying about that. Because if that's not a line that's drawn for you, what's to say you won't cross other lines as easily without a second thought, And that's always just a red flag, in general.
Yeah. I can see that too.
Just generally a very telling thing when people kind of just does something outside of what you deem it's cool or respectful to do, it's interesting because of how jarring it is when it happens. When it happens, you're like, whoa. Like, even if you don't completely work out what thought it was that made you, question their personality, you immediately know something's wrong from the decision that they made,
I get that. Yeah, no, I think that's kind of where I'm at in terms of like my quote unquote male gaze, I guess. Like that's like what I'm
male gaze,
like quote unquote looking for, if I'm really looking for something, it's like a respect thing. It's a personality thing. Do they get along with me? Do I get along with them? Can I have a conversation? Do I feel safe having a conversation?
Yeah.
Whether or not I exude that every single time I'm in a relationship is never 100%. But if we want to get like physical, I'm fucking
tits.
Honestly, I flip flop. Like it's either someone got some fat old titties or they got some fat old ass. Like, oh man, that's
nuts.
That's fat old time. I mean, I'm not like, I can't really tell if I like big dicks or if I'm just
big
into
dick femboy or small dick femboy.
I thought you said you like pretty dicks.
That's where I was gonna go. I think I'm more so into pretty dicks.
Is it big or small?
I mean, that kind of is irrelevant. If it's a pretty dick, it could be big or small.
As long as the proportion is intact, then bigger or smaller, it's less of a question.
I think I'm a big cock worship guy. Like
What?
me worshiping or someone worshiping my cock.
Oh.
Yeah.
I respect that.
I think there's like a sense of
You got a church? Where do I sign up?
here right now. Patreon. Just kidding.
Patreon.com.
A new tier.
Well, no, if I'm going to show my cock and balls after, 10,000 likes or whatever.
Yeah.
What is it? 10,000 likes?
10,000?
10,000, I'm showing my cock and balls?
No, it was like
100,000?
30,000.
30,000? 50,000?
fantastic.
We raised
One of
it.
those?
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. That's amazing. I'm
Let
all
me
for it.
see.
Because if we're already at 1,000.
You're fucked.
30 more of these bitches.
It is 30,000.
30,000.
Well,
All right. Well,
And then at 15,000, you get the like tattoo.
just wait a little bit, and when 30,000 comes around, we will open up another tier of Patreon called the Church of Lino's Cock.
Oh, wait.
And
we
you can
did
worship
the-
him.
We did the second level a bit too fast.
What do you mean?
What?
It was 2,000.
Oh, it's 500 and then 2,000?
No, it was every 1,000. We changed it to every 1,000.
I think it was every 1,000 we're supposed to.
Well,
Damn, we
you
didn't read the
still
rules.
end up, you took level 1 still, so.
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
guess
you're
it's
right,
a good
you're
thing you only took level 1. Da, 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 da,
Let me change that. Hold
on. How do you guys feel about fetishized gazes? Just fetish gazes.
Define.
Like,
Fat nuts.
is there any fetishes that you guys have that, like, takes up
Thighs?
a very large percentage of your gaze when you look upon someone? Like, maybe it fits inside your specific.
Me? It fits inside me? Does it fit inside me? I'm just kidding.
It's
Yeah, I
inside
don't
very
I don't know if I fully understand your question.
If they fit inside of one of your fetishes, right? And I think in terms of fetishes, it's a more niche fetish that I'm thinking about, because generally when you say like just a body part like tits, that's not really a fetish. That's
Yeah.
just normal
Unless
attraction,
my
if I'm being
fetish
honest.
is like titty fucking. Like, do they fit within the titty fucking fetish, right? Is that a fetish?
Sure, if
Consider that a
you're
fetish?
slightly more specific, yes. So like maybe you have a tit job fetish specifically, right? If they fit inside of that, how much of a percentage does that add to your overall scale?
Can you give me an example?
Well, you also said niche. Like, what considers.
Yeah,
what
what's considered
constitutes as
niche?
niche?
Like me throwing up in someone's mouth? Like, I see that.
Definitely niche, yes. I feel disrespectful to call that niche. I think that's just straight up weird.
No, that's very niche, man.
I don't feel comfortable calling that niche. Okay, anything that's not specifically categorized in P
To
Hub's
give you
category.
some kind of an answer to your question, I don't think I have any kind of fetishes that like are
Polarizing?
so like one polarizing where it makes it so that they're not attracted to me anymore, or like I don't have any like fetishes that
will immediately pull you over.
well like I can bring my fetishes to almost any person
Let's
I've ever
put it
been
this
with.
way.
You know what I mean? I don't
You
know.
wouldn't date this person, but then you add the fetish, and now you would. For example,
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
tattoos.
okay.
Is that fetish? I guess so.
I don't know if it's a fetish. I don't think I fetishize tattoos. I don't understand the whole fetishizing of tattoos. I find tattoos attractive on people, but that doesn't make every single person that has tattoos more attractive to me. If the person is already attractive and has tattoos, that makes it more so. And it depends on the tattoos as well. If they're like shitty ass like anime tattoos, like
Have
I mean,
giant chairs are on the back.
yeah, if they're like Gonku, like like then that doesn't really do anything for me, Or even if it's like Goku, like I don't really care about that, Like the tattoos that I have on my finals character, like I legit find those kinds of tattoos
Like a pattern.
like a floral pattern. I genuinely find those kinds of tattoos very attractive, but only on people who I already find attractive. It's like a cherry on top to an already attractive person.
So if you find someone that's like a 6, the tattoo doesn't add anything to you?
I think it would add a little bit.
Okay.
Just a little bit. Like if
Okay.
they're like a 1 to like a 3 or a 4, the tattoos aren't really going to do anything.
Interesting. So you
You
don't
know?
have a whole lot of fetishes like that.
Huh?
What about you, Josh? You got any fetishes that would add like a significant portion?
But I don't think the tattoos would change anything. I don't think it would make it so that I would now date this person. You know what I mean?
I see.
Like if a person was 5 and say I only dated like 5s and above, right? If a 4 had tattoos, that wouldn't make them a 5, and now I date them.
I see.
If if I knew the 4 before, right, and then I was like, whatever. They got a bunch of tattoos that I thought were attractive, right? That wouldn't that wouldn't make them a 5, and now I'm down to to date them. I'm either down to date them from day one or I'm not.
I think with you, if you're trying to find a quality like that, we have to go less so the physical route and more so the activity/personality route. Like,
I think
add
so.
An extra personality.
I really don't
maybe
think
she's like a 5, but then she plays Destiny with you.
Maybe not plays Destiny with me, but is like willing to share or at least try to share in a hobby with me. I think that would change things.
She's a 5, but she's also a big Mass Effect fan.
That's not.
I
think that's around the same lines.
Mass Effect fans that are attractive.
Oh.
Yeah. If she, there are a couple, but some of them are busted. You know, it really doesn't change that much for me. You know, sorry, Mass Effect fans. I mean, I'm one of you, so like I'm saying that I'm busted too, but like I'm just, it's a dead game. Get over it. Play another game.
Can't believe you just told someone to do that.
Huh?
When you're like, we play Mass Effect like every other year.
I haven't played Mass Effect for the past 2 years, I think.
I think it's time to start.
Actually, no, I think that's a lie. I think I played it for a little bit because I started modding it.
I was gonna say, didn't you play it last year?
I think I did. Well, I didn't finish it though.
Yeah.
I didn't finish the whole trilogy.
You played it though.
Like when I was in my prime, playing Mass. I literally, when I broke my collarbone when I was living in the dorm with him, I finished an entire trilogy playthrough in 4 or 5 days, and I started over and did it again.
I think we
the same day.
I think we talked about this briefly, but it's definitely one of those moments where we think it's really funny, but to other people it might seem really sad.
Yeah.
Where in the beginning of the day at the dorm, I would leave for my classes, and when I come back 12 hours later, he's at the exact same spot, playing the exact same game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But at that time, I was very, very much depressed, and I couldn't really go anywhere. You know what I mean? So.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think if we were to remove the physical aspect of it and bring it more to a personality thing, if she's willing to share in or at least try a hobby of mine, or at least entertain it for a little bit, then I think that would make it.
I think the important thing is the willingness to try, like you said. You don't have to like it. It's not really a problem. It's just if I ask you, hey, do you want to try to do this thing together?
Mm-hmm.
You would be willing to give it a shot.
Yeah, at least the good old fashioned try. And if you don't like it, then you don't like it, and if you do, then fantastic.
So,
you can do something.
Any fetishes you want to expose to the class?
They have a dick.
If they have
that's it.
Dick.
Yeah, that's all I need.
They're a 1, but they have a dick.
They exist, but they have a dick.
They exist.
The rest of the body is not there. It's just a dick.
He just has a fucking dildo. You think anyone's ever married their dildo?
If someone's married their car before, I'm sure someone has married a dildo.
If someone's married a car, they married a fucking anime girl, then there's probably a person that married the dildo.
Hold on. Anime girls, there's a little different. Because anime girl is kind of
The anime girl makes sense.
Makes sense. I would marry those.
That's so weird. People marrying inanimate objects.
Isn't there a person that married a Ferris wheel?
I'm sorry, what?
It was on one of those.
My Strange Addiction or whatever.
Yeah, it was on one of those.
God damn it!
You remember that one remember in that server that you guys have with your friends, and I sent actual car porn into the car porn chat.
On the subject of uncomfortable images that we have seen over Chinese New Year, which happened between the last recording session and this recording session, I went back to my parents' place and we had a nice dinner, but some dude. My dad's apprentice or apprentice, as I put it last time.
Apprentice?
He came around and he brought a live lobster that was huge.
It's been proven. Big lobsters aren't that good. You want the small ones.
Well, the main issue is not with the eating of the lobster, because it was okay, it was fine.
Killing it?
Yes, we have to kill it.
Yeah.
But I think I hung out with you guys way too much, and hanging out with you guys in this house, especially with Bert as well, has just turned me into a person that I would sometimes not like to think about too hard. But there's this process I didn't know
What do we
about when
do?
you have to kill the lobster. That's called like draining the lobster.
Fucking. Oh.
The lobster,
Oh.
right, has a lot of liquid inside of it
Yeah.
in this digestive tract, in this whole body as a whole, because it lives in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that my dad told me is the proper way to drain a lobster is that you lift its tail, find a little labusi, and then you would just grab a very long skewer / chopstick. In our case, is a very long chopstick around this length, like over a foot.
It's like 2 feet.
Yeah, around 2 feet. Around 2 feet long chopstick. One of those cooking chopsticks that you see that are just fucking huge, right? He grabbed one of those things straight in the tail, and he just rammed it without hesitation inside the lobster
did he
until
kill
it
it?
reaches the head. It wasn't dead. It
that's
died
worse.
after. We have to kill it after. But he just jammed that thing in there. And I gave him a look like I would if I saw this with you guys in the podcast. I just gave him like a, And the look
Did you want to be the lobster?
The look that he gave back to me was so much confusion and disappointment. That I didn't even know it was possible. I never seen him make a face like that before. He just looked at me like, oh, what the fuck?
What are you thinking of, asshole?
Yeah.
Fucking weirdo.
And we never vocalized these feelings. We just exchanged glances. And as soon as he gave me that look back, and I just shook my head slightly and I looked away in defeat.
You see, I'm a very controlled person, so I don't make those expressions around my family.
Well, apparently I do. So,
I don't give a shit. I would do it anyways.
well,
Well,
yeah, but
you
your
have a
family
different
knows.
relationship with your family, honestly.
Your family won't give you that look that my dad gave me back.
So did you get turned on by it?
A little bit.
What did you think of?
Okay, so I don't know if you guys
Did you
ever
think of- what was
seen
his
the
name, Tom?
underside of a
What's his name?
lobster,
Alex.
Alex, so there you go.
but the lobster hole, it's just straight up like a hole
Yeah.
that has lips and flaps and everything. It was insane.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Sometimes I think about that and I'm like,
How does that drain all the liquids?
well,
Is it like piercing all the organs and stuff so
Honestly,
it leaks
I think
out?
it
That's the first
pierces-
time I've heard of it, honestly, because my parents just boiled the lobster.
I never heard of it either until he said that it's something that we should be doing. But to be fair, it does drain a shit ton of liquid out of that hole after it did that. Like he pulls it out, and that thing was like squirting water. Excuse my language. Squirting water for the next like minute and a half.
Huh.
Like it didn't
Was-
stop. It was crazy.
I mean, it makes sense, I guess.
I don't.
How do you guys prepare it? Do you just boil it?
We boiled it first and then we baked it afterward. Okay, so what we did was that after we violated that thing in every way possible, that thing was kind of twitching a little bit, which I also don't like to think about. But
Oh, yeah, they skewered it alive.
Yeah. No, that's
yeah, and then
okay.
after
Instead
we
of
skewered
killing
it
it first
alive,
and then doing that. Did they even put it to sleep?
we laid it to the chopping board, and then I just took a knife straight down the head, and then down with the rest of the
Yeah.
blade to chop in between its head.
Okay.
And then
Which
afterward,
is what you're supposed to do.
boil it, and well, we like to add a little extra spice in our lobster preparation in our household. So
Okay.
that is what we're supposed to do. But before that, we gave it a little fun.
I don't think that was fun for the
We-
lobster, bro.
We
Man.
boiled it first, and then we cut it in half, laid it out, garlic and cheese, and then shoved it in the oven to bake it. And then out it comes afterward.
I don't think I would ever be able to go through with like preparing a lobster by myself. You know? I think I would have too much moral implications. I'm too much of a pussy, to put it lightly.
You get over it. I unfortunately grew up in a family where I had to do a bit of killing from time to time. The biggest like thing that I have killed is a live chicken. But this is when I was back in motherland, China.
China.
But we came from a culture that values like freshness a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we have an animal that we slaughter and eat, a lot of people chooses to do that themselves because it maintains the most amount of freshness. So us at the tender age of 9, I have had to slit an animal's throat and hold it while it drained out of its blood from its body.
Nice. It's hot.
And
Did
then
you pull
eat it afterward.
the head and spine out like Mortal Kombat? Fatality.
Flawless victory.
No, I
just
haven't
stand
considered
over the
that
body.
option. I haven't considered that option when I was 9. But now that you mention, I kind of wish I did it. You know?
You should have done it. Should have fucking done it. Fucking asshole. Fucking weirdo.
But I totally get the moral implication of it. Like, something about having to see something alive and take its life with your own hand is a little bit daunting.
Well, the whole like killing it, right? Like, okay, sure, you know, but the whole like sticking a stick up its butthole and like draining all of its liquids and stuff while it's still alive. If that's the proper way you're supposed to do it while it's still alive, or like even if you did it after it was dead, maybe I'd be okay with it. Maybe.
But the fact
But,
that you
like-
did it alive, that's even daunting for me.
Yeah, like if you were supposed to do it alive, and that's like the best way to do it, or like that's like the way you're supposed to do it, I don't think I would be able to do it.
I think there's also some sort of like research on, because East Asians are kind of crazy. They eat like raw stuff while they're still alive, especially from the ocean, quite a bit.
Like the octopus.
Like octopus, like those live fishes from like Thailand that's made into a salad and die like a second before you eat them, or some stuff like that in the middle of the bowl and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I think there was some like research because fish don't really feel pain.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the same pain receptors as us.
Yeah, something like that. I think that extends to like crustaceans as well, where they don't feel pain the same way we do. They feel threatened, probably. That's why they like, you know, instinctively try to avoid dying. But it's not like us where we'll be in excruciating pain if someone skewered us from the butthole, you know?
Yeah.
That's why the humane way of getting crab claws nowadays is just ripping it off them and then throwing them back in the ocean without their claws.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. No.
I've seen those videos. I'm like, that crab's dead at that point.
Like,
even though, they can survive without their claws, but
The survival chances
their
are
chances
significantly
are
lower.
way
Like,
lower now.
significantly lower. And yeah, they might be able to
Maybe
repopulate
just one
and make
claw.
more. But I don't know. It might just kill the thing.
I mean-
just take it, kill it.
By statistic, it makes sense, because if you just kill it, then the survival chance is absolutely 0. But if you toss it back, there's a good chance that, not a good chance, but there's way more chances
It's
of
like
it
a 5%
surviving.
chance at that point.
Yeah, but
You
you're
know?
you're playing
And-
with like small percentages. You know what I mean? Like
And I
it's
think
might as well
another
be 0.
implication is probably that even if they don't survive, it would be nutrients recycled for the ecosystem instead of you just fucking taking it out completely. You know?
I mean, I feel like that's kind of like a cop out answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
It's
if
the
you eat
circle
it,
of
then
life,
it's the
bro.
same thing. I mean, like, yeah, it might like decompose and go back into the earth, whatever. But like, I don't know.
As long
Right?
as you do it sustainably, it shouldn't be too big of an issue.
It's more so me doing it to the thing. Like, it's gonna happen regardless. Like, someone else is gonna do it.
You
You
think
know?
if you have to basically round up and butcher an animal to eat by yourself, you can do it?
I mean, if I was starving, yeah, I would do it.
I wouldn't. Let's say you're not starving, but it is essential for your survival in the future days.
I'd probably wait until I was starving, but yeah. I'd probably go look for other things around it.
Fair
But I
enough.
mean, if that was like the only thing, if that was like the first thing I had seen in like 48 hours, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to be hungry in like another 48. This is my one chance. I'll probably kill it, you know?
Okay.
Whether I'll feel good about it, no. But then I think I'll come to the same conclusion that I'm at now, where it's like, it was bound to happen. Something else was going to kill it. Something else was going to eat it, But like, I think I'm thinking in the world that I live in right now, where it's like I could choose literally anything else.
That's fair.
Like I could choose to eat something that has already been killed and prepared for by somebody else, and I have the detachment of the moral responsibility of killing that animal with my own hands, Whereas if I were to buy anything where I had to kill it, right then and there and then cook it, like I feel weird about it,
Would you rather grab someone else's cat and just kill and butcher the thing, or get shot in the leg?
Shot in the leg.
Would you rather?
I'm gonna go piss.
Keep going, man.
Would you rather grab a cat of somebody else that you know have already passed away and will no longer miss their pet and kill and butcher it, or get shot in the leg?
The person that I know is dead, and I'm grabbing their cat.
Yes.
And I'm killing and butchering it.
Yes.
Shot in the leg.
Would you rather?
Look, man, I really don't want to, like, do I have to kill it and eat it? Like, is this for my survival? I'm just doing it just for shits and giggles?
You're doing it to not get shot in the leg.
I just shot in the leg. Just shoot me in the leg. Like, I don't know what you want from me, man.
Okay, here we go. Would you rather grab Josh, kill and butcher him, or get shot in the leg?
Shot in the leg, 100%. You made it worse for me.
I know.
Or like you made it a more clear decision for me to get shot in the leg. Choose somebody else.
Would you rather kill and butcher a specific person from work, and
if their name starts with an R, I'll take the person.
No,
killing and butchering them.
If you have to choose and kill a specific person from work and feed 12 million African villages afterward.
Ah, I see. I do that one. Not getting a shot in the leg for that one.
Or
it's a great purge. Fighting obesity one person at a time.
It's a general win for the humanity of this planet.
We lose 2% of the obese population, and we feed all of Africa.
You take 2% of the overweight and you feed 12% of the underweight.
There you go. There you go.
It's a win-win situation.
Bruh. Oh man. Okay. That's it.
No, I'm gonna go somewhere else with that. I don't know how often you see me as a terrible person.
All the time.
But good. Accurate. But I was on the freeway and I was just driving home, and I started thinking about what's the most humane and effective way to decrease the population and just gain more resources for the rest of us, you know?
Okay.
The first stop to that plan is to just kill selective medical care.
To kill selective medical care. Oh, in terms of like taking out like medical care for people who need very, very specific and specialized care?
No, taking away
like peanut allergies?
Peanut allergy is a good one. I think any sort of tree nut allergy, you should have like a 3 strike, you know? And by the 3rd strike, if you still haven't found out that you're allergic to peanut and peanut will kill you, you just die. That's it. That's all the chances you get in your entire life.
Well, not all the times are their fault.
If by that time you don't find out, it's too late.
What do you mean you don't
natural
find
selection.
out? Oh, okay. All right. Go ahead.
I think it should be on like a chance basis, you know? If you're horribly obese and you're given like 3 years to change your ways and get better, and during those 3 years, you have made less than 5% progress, taking you out. No more support for your medication. You don't get any sort of like, you know, benefits for being quote unquote disabled. You just left for dead.
What the fuck's going on?
We're seeing Jay's colors right now. We're seeing them shine very yellow and very, very red. Very dark blood red.
We're talking about ways to humanely and effectively decrease the population. And I have mentioned that the first way I think about doing it, and the way that I believe we should go forward with our future politics.
I'm gonna send you that story. It's just
is to just cut selective healthcare.
Okay.
Drunk driving, 3 chances.
Ooh.
By the 3rd time you come in and you're drunk driving and you're injured, that's it. You're not getting any help. Figure that shit out yourself.
For both the victim and the person that...
No, for the person that is drunk driving.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's a little bit touchy if it's not already a little bit touchy, right?
Okay.
We can totally cut this out, depending on how both of you guys react to this, right?
You really love to paint yourself like a psychopath. I think you revel in.
I'm learning to embrace that.
I think you should not. But okay, go ahead.
So fucking tired of traffic. Way too many people on the goddamn road. You know how much better life would be if you could just eradicate like a third of the population? That came out wrong. Look, all I was trying to say is I think we're overpopulated and the world would benefit if there's less people. That's all. How are you going to achieve that, Supreme Leader? I'm not suggesting anything like that. I'm not saying get rid of a specific demographic. I'm just saying the world is too many people. We need less. We need like a plague or a pandemic or a... What? No, not that. Well, I start with the why. No. Right, obviously. Alright, look, dude, clearly my opinion hasn't landed, so just forget I said with you. Obviously, I know that's not what you're saying. You're just trying to say there's limited resources and too many people. And you're basically saying society's needs come before the individual's needs, right? Pretty much. Yeah, who said that?
Yeah, see, that's Jaden right there.
Kind of is. Yeah,
That's shorts from
Our
Our
jokes.
Jokes on TikTok.
Whenever he pops up, they're always a banger, honestly.
They're a fucking genius.
I'm trying to think of like other ways to humanely kill people.
If you're skydiving and your parachute fails, that's natural selection.
What? No.
It's not really your fault if like
Yeah.
there's an equipment malfunction. What are you gonna do? Test it in the middle of the skydive and bring an extra parachute with you? I mean, like if you're testing
it's
it
not
and it
your
fails, you're gonna
fault.
die anyways.
That's fair.
How are you gonna test a parachute when you're not falling?
Free climbers. No medical help for free climbers.
Every single day, Jay gets more and more like Superman from Injustice. From the
This is
Injustice
like
universe.
it's the Flash scene with
Yeah.
like with Superman.
Yeah, or like the animated movie version where he's playing chess with Mr. Fantastic or whatever his name is. Is that Fantastic?
Mr. Terrific?
Mr. Terrific. There you go. Same thing. Terrific,
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's the same scene, but
Look, I'm
they
not-
changed it.
I'm not saying that they did anything wrong. I'm just saying that if
People
you're
jaywalking, they deserve the death sentence.
I think Thanos' version of doing it is the best. It's random.
Yeah.
It's random, and it takes out half the population.
Yeah, but then that doesn't follow karma.
Why should it?
Why should it follow karma?
I just feel like, look, I'm not saying anything drastic here. I'm just saying we should bring
What the
back
fuck do you mean
natural
you're not
selection.
saying
You're
drastic?
straight up just
I-
Injustice
look,
Superman
listen,
right now.
Well, no, it's a little different because Injustice Superman is saying that he will actively kill anyone that violates the rules. I'm just saying that they don't receive any help. So if anything, I'm an advocate for natural selection. I'm not an advocate for totalitarian
Guys,
society.
dick that gets ripped out during sex. No help.
No help for him. It was natural selection. He should have put his finger in there first. But even then, he doesn't get help for his finger, so because he should have known. He should have known that his gorilla
soul
grip was
sucked
gonna
out
be.
through his dick.
Yeah,
no help
he
right
should
there
have seen
either.
like the pulse of her pussy
He
being
should have
so
known
fucking
his heart
tight.
condition at that
Oh
point.
yeah. He should have known that like he can't fucking if, like as soon as he drinks like a sip of coffee, his heart starts racing. He knows he shouldn't have sex after that.
Eric, I think it's slowly going towards your director. It's like you
I think it
fall
is.
off a scooter.
I've lost,
no
like
help
it's
at all
my
right
fault.
there.
I have bronchitis. I don't deserve help. You know,
People with leukemia, they don't deserve help.
I don't take care of myself, and you know, and I have sex, and I think I'm gonna die by having sex. I don't deserve help. I'm just gonna take myself out.
All right, watch this, right?
Watching.
3 chances, right? Give them every help they could possibly need. Suicidal people.
3 strikes, they're out.
You're out. Don't do it. How many times have you done this? This is my 4th time. Okay, never mind. I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Everyone just like
Do it.
disperses.
Everyone just walks away. They take away the trampoline.
They have a
With the
little punch
fucking-
card. By the third, it's only 3 holes. By the third punch, they're like,
How many
Hey,
times have you
brother.
done this? They throw their card down like the fucking like.
There's like 3 holes in it. It's
Yeah, they're like,
like,
all right, see you later. Oh man.
they call the hotline. I was
send
gonna
a-
kill myself. How many times have you tried? 3? No, we can't help you anymore.
3. Hello?
Oh, let me try to call you again. You have been blocked by this number.
You have been blacklisted.
You've been blacklisted.
Find help somewhere else.
Go somewhere else.
Do
fucking
your
asshole.
best.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck, you depressed ass bitch. Figure that shit out.
Yeah, I think Thanos has the best approach.
I think he does. I think he has the best approach.
It's like who do you blame at that point?
Thanos.
Yeah,
that's who you blame.
It's the one person instead of an entire system.
That's it.
Instead of an entire system.
Yeah.
I think if the system is nature, then you can't really blame it. You know.
Well, it's not nature. we have learned to like transform nature, bend nature to our will. It's on our knees and literally sucking our dick right now.
I don't think we should be doing that. If I'm being honest with you,
we really transformed it too much. Honestly,
I mean, it's kind of hard to go back.
It's hard to go back because we keep doing it.
I mean, yeah. I don't know what you want. That's the only
reason why it's hard to go back.
I don't know what you want.
We keep fucking doing it.
I mean, yeah, you can't really go back. I don't know, man.
And we're back.
Are we back? I mean, it's your bit. You decided to go into another killing
in the
people
middle
rant.
of this. I can't.
You're gonna say, and we're back, and this is gonna stay in the episode, and this is just gonna paint you in a more psychopathic eye than you already have been. What was the thing you also said before? Like, what was it?
I just came back to you having the plug pulled on you, man. Where Jay's like, if you're too much of this, I'm pulling the plug. I can't help you at all.
Yeah. Well, he also gave me a situation where would I rather kill you, eat you, and shit, or get shot in the leg? And thankfully for you, I said get shot in the leg. So I love you too, man.
I think about it for you too, bro. What the fuck, Jay? What would you do, huh?
If it's you, I'll get shot in the leg.
Okay.
But if it's some dead guy's cat, then I'm taking the cat
he also
out.
brought up that. He was like, would I rather, like, cut up some dead guy's cat? Yeah, like if the person that I knew died, and then, like, would I rather cut up that guy's cat or get shot in the leg? Like, kill and then cut up that guy's cat. Or get shot in the leg. I said get shot in the leg for just about everything. So
I couldn't get him to fold.
Yeah.
What's not stopping you from not chopping that cat?
What?
Or what's stopping you from not chopping up the cat?
His humanity.
Yeah, I mean,
being a good person.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just walk away from both.
Well, no, not if
who's
I'm
forcing you?
shot in the leg. I'm not shooting myself in the leg here. I'm not giving myself the ultimatum. Oh man, I better kill this fucking cat. I'm gonna shoot myself in the leg.
I was like, no, never mind. Your cat the whole
I cannot think of a more perfect way to say you can just walk away from both. But the ultimatum is getting shot in the
immediately
leg.
you like drop the knife and walk away from the cat. You just get shot in the leg. You're like,
oh man.
Who's forcing you for these? Is it you, Jay? Are you forcing Eric?
Yeah, it's me.
What are we doing here, guys?
A red laser pointing at Eric's leg the entire time.
It's a motion sensor, and if it senses anything that moves away, it just fucking shoots me like, and it's like connected to the cat's heartbeat, and if it dies and it turns off.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that's when it goes away.
It's like that one guy in like the very, very beginning of Cyberpunk when he has like the mine like pointed at him, and like you can either like save him or just leave him there, and he can't do anything because if he moves, then the mine blows up. Oh man,
I remember the first time I found the switch, I was like, "What is this doing for us?"
Yeah, I did too.
Because I didn't know. I found it like 5 minutes later. It's like, oh
yeah.
The dialogue popped up later, like, "Oh man, you just killed that guy." I was like,
"Yeah."
Oh.
And then you end up realizing that it was the old leader of Maelstrom. Yeah, no, it's a good time. I saved him this time.
The second time around.
Yeah.
The chance to blow something up. Oh. Explodes. Oh, it's not something. It's someone.
Oh.
Hey, just see
him. Good job.
Oh, it's something now.
Just see a bloody door.
Something now. Guys, look, we got a new paint job. It's very stuffy.
I'm sorry,
busy.
Kennedy, if you try to bring us a normal topic and we just ruined it. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I mean, well, no. No, we talked about it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, we didn't really go fully into it. I think I was the only one that really gave an answer to it.
What was the question? Female gaze?
What do we think is the female gaze?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like what do
gave
you
like
think
a weird
girls,
answer.
Yeah.
I think we gave like an answer that wasn't really like an answer. It was kind of like a
different. We kind of gave some cop-out answers and we kind of just left it.
We gave what the gay gaze.
We definitely did not do that.
I mean, like I think
because
money.
It's hard.
Female gaze, money,
Dependability.
success.
I think that could chopped up to dependability. Like it could be in various it could be financial, it could be emotional, but some sort of dependability.
I think that's unfortunately the more common one is financial.
Mm-hmm.
You don't find very many people
circle around that. If you're broke, you're broke. You can't really avoid that as a problem.
Right, but what I'm saying is like most people will see you for the money that you have, and not the character that you bring. Because you could be dependable in every other way, but you might not be the most rich person in the entire world. You might not be the most broke person in the entire world, but if you're not doing well for yourself, then you're not really worth shit.
I hate to bring this here because this is borderline Sigma podcast shit that I'm about to bring up right now. But unfortunately, I think one thing that is true that gets brought up in those podcasts is that our value as men, built up over time as we get more and more successful and build a better and better career.
Yeah, no, 100%.
While it's the reverse is true for most females, where the younger they are in the early stages of their life, they're seen as more valuable, and then later on, it's harder for them to find anyone.
Yeah.
Don't they have a term for that in Chinese? Or the
pedophile?
Fresh meat enjoyer.
Fresh meat enjoyer is wild. Holy shit. Raw meat.
So that's why the age.
Oh, man.
No,
so that's why the age of consent is 15.
Yeah.
Is it actually in China?
In Japan.
In Japan.
Oh, in Japan.
Certain places in Japan.
No,
okay.
It's not all of Japan.
Terrible place. What are you gonna say? You were gonna say something. You're on the track to say something.
There's a term in Chinese where once a girl turns 25, they're considered leftovers.
Fuck.
Oh,
and they're 25 and still single. They're considered
translation
leftovers.
is leftover woman.
Fuck. That's fucked.
That's actual term. It's actually fucked up.
Fucked.
I think recently it's been pushed back to 30 or so.
No, that's fair.
And there's a positive term for it for certain high value individuals that society view as high value that is quote unquote leftover still, and they call them golden leftover women.
It doesn't help
a backhanded compliment. You're leftovers, but you're good. You're good sloppy seconds.
Yeah.
You're a good piece of spit on the floor.
Yeah.
Some high value spit. But no, that's unfortunate. But no, I completely agree. I think men's value over time increases as you become more successful, you have more experience, you build more of a name for yourself, your status, your wisdom. Your value as a man is what you bring to the table, and it's never the kind of person that you are.
I personally don't really like that rule because I feel it should be something, because you can't help what stage of life you're in.
You can't help being broke.
Well, you can. Definitely you can help being broke.
Yeah, because if I were to completely give up on everything that I want to do with my life and just work, I could probably be way more successful than I am now.
No, yeah,
not that I'm very successful at all. I could just give up on going to school. I could give up on every dream that I have. I can give up on this podcast, drop everything, drop everyone, and just work my ass off, and make money.
I believe that's what the kids call Sigma grind set, and I don't think it's healthy, if I'm being honest with you.
I mean, it's not. It's a
terrible way to live.
So if you want our values to go up, please share.
Please share the podcast, I guess. Honestly,
don't share this episode. Share another one.
Yeah, no, this is not a great episode.
Share episode 19.
No. Sure, episode 23, if anything, please.
Is that the one where you apologize and then immediately fucking get racist or something?
That's 27.
Is it, I don't know. Just share episode 19 to 29. Just share those 10 episodes. There's the wide range of a lot of things.
From 20. I don't like sharing
20 to 30. I can't guarantee that 30 is a good episode
20
either.
30.
That's 30.
I don't fucking know.
I don't remember.
But yeah, no, I agree with all of that. I'm not into the whole Sigma grind set. Unfortunately,
I'm also not into the whole value based hanging out and relationship, whatever. My parents keep pushing that on me because they come from a place where that is the standard.
Yeah,
and they keep going no, you should always find friends that are like better in life than you or some shit like that. And I'm just like, that's not how I want to do things. Like I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, like I want to be there for the people that I like, regardless of what stage in life they are. And if I could do anything and I can already take care of myself, help them along to help them reach that stage in their life where they could be successful, I feel like that's far more valuable than just finding someone that has already gotten to that point.
Yeah.
Instead, it's
very shallow.
It's really shallow way to look at things and think about stuff. Unfortunately.
I get the idea. It's like you are your surroundings.
Surround yourself with.
Yeah, and like I fully understand that, but I think there's a limit to that. You know, I think you find your mentors. You know, you find those people and see them as mentors, but not try to be around them as friends. To be like, oh yeah, your success will eventually become some of my success, and I'll kind of like get some of that success off of you.
Like a parasite. It's like a very leech off of people type of feel. 100%. You know? I don't think we should. It's not a problem for you to be associated with someone that's more successful or in a different stage of life.
But if you're only there for that reason,
I don't think the encountering and your relationship should be dictated by that status.
Yeah.
You know, like you have to be willing to build a relationship with a different foundation than than their social status in general. You know, I think that's just it's a terrible way to look at human beings. And as unfortunate as it is, I feel like that's the most common way to look at human beings. You know? It's not great.
I was having a conversation with Mexican Lover about how right now, to kind of segue into like a note that I had last time that I kind of wasn't really going to bring up, but the whole check-in thing, but I'm just going to kind of just go for it. I've been feeling very like burnt out and like defeated, very like forward thinking, and not like in the sense where I'm like, oh yeah, like I could do this in the future. It's like, this is what my future is going to look like because this is the things that are happening around me, and there's not really much I can do to change it if I want to continue the way that I live right now, and I don't change anything, right? And not in the sense where like, yeah, we could talk about how, you know, like we could talk about all the things that I lack, but in the sense of like the morals that I want to keep, in the sense where I want to be a passionate person, not a strictly logical and only seeking a career in something that makes sense and will make me a lot of money, and like not be so visual, be more like a kinesthetic, like do something that I love doing because of the love for doing it. Like if I maintain that moral and that mindset and that passion, in something that may or may not like provide a whole lot of resources, being money, that I will probably always be in the place that I'm in right now, you know? And I might do a little bit better, but only marginally. And there's only so much I can go from there, and I will probably always be in this state of like defeat and like feeling stuck, and I can't do anything about it, you know? And like knowing that the thought of me not being able to do anything about it is completely untrue, because like I said, I could just drop everything that I care about doing and do the thing that will make me not have to, like, do the thing that will make it so that nobody has to worry about me, where I don't feel like I'm like a
burden.
That's the word.
Yeah.
Like feel like a burden to other people. Just that thought is like very like daunting and kind of fucked, you know? And I've kind of been like in a really bad mood because of it, because I'm like, fuck, you know, like what am I gonna do? You know, like there's all those statistics where it's like most of our income like goes to us just trying to live, you know? And yeah.
This is a thought that I believe happens very commonly with people like in this stage of life, like early 20s, trying to find out what they're doing, right? And I'm not saying I have the answer to this because I clearly don't, or else I wouldn't really be here.
Yeah.
You know, but I think about this a lot too. I usually just have this cycling somewhere in the back burner in my head, and once in a while I would just take it to the front, open the lid, and kind of go and stir it a little bit, and then just get depressed and put it right back. Right?
Yeah. Same.
I think this is gonna get really fucking corny.
Don't give up, man. Pursue your dreams.
No, there is a pretty famous speech made by Steve Jobs back in one of the graduations for either Princeton or Harvard, one of those school Ivy League stuff, right? Stanford. It was Stanford. And he was talking about a particular phrase. He says that you have to go forward having faith that the dots will connect further down the road. And for me, I never understood that saying when I was just hearing it for the first time, and when my parents were fucking into it and they're like, yeah, you listen to this, and I'm like, I don't give a shit, And I don't think I understood it until I thought about all of the train of thought that you had enough, until eventually I realized what he might possibly mean, or at least I got a complete understanding for me, right? Like I understood it completely in my own way. It's that you will find the stuff that you want to do and the stuff that you should be doing, quote unquote, contradictory sometimes. What you should be doing is, taking care of business, being financially stable, being responsible, and all that. At least that's the way that I think about it. Right? Or that's the way that I think about it. You should be someone that's self-reliant. You shouldn't depend on people too much and make yourself some sort of a burden. If you pursuing your wants get in the way of that and you become a burden, then what you want, it's selfish almost in that sort of train of thought. You get what I'm saying, what direction I'm going at, It's very much so of like should I be doing this? Is this viable? Is this just me being selfish for wanting to do what I want to do, even though my condition doesn't really allow it, or like my circumstance doesn't really allow me to go for that? But I think because of that, we put a lot of limitations on what we want to do. There's a million different ways to make a bunch of different excuses. Oh, this industry wouldn't really find me a job that pays good. Oh, it's extremely competitive. I should do something else. Or, if I do that, then I would have to become a burden to people around me during this time that I'm pursuing whatever I'm trying to do. And it's a complicated thing to navigate. But one way to kind of look at it, I feel like, is if you want to do the thing that you want to do, it's better for you to be absolutely certain about it and go for it without holding anything back, rather than being in the state that we are in now, where there's a lot of self-doubt about whether we should be going the way that we're going, whether this is right for us. I think it's more so of if we want to, say, pursue a career in art or creative, whatever creative content making thing that we were thinking about, right? Be that sort of music, art, making this podcast, videos, stuff like that. It's important for you to truly enjoy that thing and devote yourself completely to it, and not so much as asking, is this going to make any money? But more so of like, I'm going to work as hard as I possibly can at it. And if opportunity presents itself, I'm going to take it, And having the thought going into this to understand that if I'm going to do this, there's not 100% chance of me getting to where I want to. But because I fully devoted myself to what I want to do, further down the line, even if I end up somewhere else, I would end up much happier having done that than if I didn't and limited myself to surviving, getting a better job, doing, different things to try to justify not going towards the direction that I initially have planned or hoped for. You know, and of course, it's not an easy thing to do. It's an easy concept to grasp where you just like, yeah, go whole hog at the thing that you feel passionate about. Be passionate about the thing. Love the thing that you're trying to do deeply, right? But to do that, that means that any obstacle that gets in your way, you have to either power through with discipline or enough foresight and passion to be like, further down the line, this is going to be worth it. This is a obstacle for me to overcome to get to where I want to. This is not a roadblock for me to have to circle around. You know, that sort of deal. And it's extremely difficult because it's really hard to like a thing so much and have so much passion that you kind of abandon a bunch of other things to pursue it, you know? But usually the people that are most successful in pursuing those things are the ones that go whole hog and abandon everything else to do it, you know? And I think that's connecting it back what ultimately that speech meant, that you have to leap forward having faith that something will connect further on without having your current situation become a limiting factor for where you want to go in the future.
I think it's kind of hard to accept the idea that you go for a thing and expect hope, like whatever, that hold on, it's crunching time. Oh, I hope they pick up. Has some juicy cracks. Now I want to crack my back now. Fuck. It's like you ever see like someone like crack their like knuckles or whatever, and then you have to just crack your entire body just because they're like, oh, that sounds so good. Now I like realize every single part of my body that I can crack.
Not as impressive, but good crack. Thank you, Josh. Good crack break.
I don't think it'll be on the mic, but
yeah, I won't most likely.
Yeah, he was cracking his crack break. Crack break is a horrible way to put what we just did. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for doing that.
No. Yeah, I don't know. I find it kind of difficult to accept the idea that if I abandon other things,
it shouldn't be.
It's not like abandon, but like put other things to the side, and going full hog for the thing that you want. I think it's more so just like,
how do I put this? I think abandoning is not the right word, because this is gonna sound also extremely corny, like a follow your heart sort of deal.
Never give up.
Because
follow your dreams.
It's not just it's not just about your dreams. Because what it's
about your state of mind, your
for,
happiness, your peace.
What you go for and what you abandon, or quote unquote choose to abandon, is ultimately up to you to decide. Because what's important to you and what you want to go for is also ultimately up to you to decide. And we're not talking about a singular thing. We're talking about a way of life, a way to live. You know, it's not about getting career in a certain thing, although it could be very applicable to it. But at the same time, right, it's also like you're constantly struggling to figure out what you want to give your time and attention to. For example, because you're pursuing this career, should I be ignoring like relationships? Should I be like putting my relationship aside? If it's important to you enough, then you wouldn't, you know? And that's also another thing that could be applicable to this, you know, you have to follow whatever it is that you're doing thing. I think I hope the main takeaway is that like self-doubt, you know, the doubting of whether doing this thing is right for me or not. Because ultimately, regardless of whether the thing is right for you or not, I think personally, down the line, it's much better for you to have fully just gone for the thing that you want to do and have that full experience and gave enough love and passion towards the thing for you to truly understand it and appreciate it, rather than back and forth thinking whether it's right for you or not and whether that would affect you horribly in other ways. It's a no regret sort of deal. It's a don't let your doubts of whether this is right or whether this should be what I'm doing stop you from doing what you're doing, you know? I don't know. It's a difficult subject to tackle because it's not just one-sidedly do what you want. It's there's a lot of decision to put that energy towards, but having that energy and putting that energy forward is, I think, important for people like us that are at the crossroad of everything, basically. Like, what kind of person do you want to be? What kind of relationship you want to keep in your life? You know, what type of career I want to go into? What makes me happy? You know, what kind of identity should I hold on to? Because I had identity in the past before, and there are things I want to be in the future. Which one should I let go? Which one should I follow? That sort of deal, you know? It's weird. It's a complicated place in life.
Josh is little like, do you wanna add?
What time?
1:38.
Oh well, let's finish this talk first. Like, this is a big one.
Any final statements?
Well, no, let's finish the talk first, right? Do you have any like additions to that or anything, or?
Not really, honestly.
Okay.
I'm more in the logistical aspect because most of this is all based on feel.
Okay.
Where I'm more straightforward thinking, like, if I can get through this and keep on pursuing what I'm doing, I'm gonna most likely be set. Because I'm not in a creative field like both of you. I'm in a field where I can most likely succeed in.
I was gonna let that go. I was gonna say he's gonna go for it. No.
I mean, it's harder to succeed financially in a creative field.
No. I mean, like, that's totally true. We're just making fun of you because that sounds terrible. But no, like, it's like straight up, like, you finish
basically taking the easy route.
I don't think that's true.
Not really. I mean,
there's no easy or harder route. It's ultimately what you want to pursue in life.
It's just that, like, the route you're taking is an objectively more quote unquote useful route. You know, there's more like objective everyday kind of like every person feels this thing, use for it, instead of a subjective, like, everything that I could ever create in music may not be liked by everyone, and therefore it might not be for everyone, and therefore it might not get the attention. Whereas, like,
since
a program,
we're on that topic, I want to quickly go into that too, right? Because it's like, a practical application and all that. I think there's two ways to look at it, because I agree that it's definitely harder to find work and sustain yourself in the creative field, but I don't think it's for the reason that we're listing, right? Sure, it doesn't have a practical way or use, but I think that just means that we have to kind of pave our own path to find that, which is what makes it difficult. Because for a career that is very logistical and very logical, like,
it's already been
repairing,
like,
or like you know building PCs, or like, software engineering, there's already a set path someone has set out for you to follow if you want to go do that. If you want a raise, you get into a company that does what you need to do, and then you work your ass off and try to get a raise and do better things. There's like a ladder that you could climb. But for us, it's difficult because there's no really a set ladder for creatives to really get any sort of career. Like, we have to build our own. And a part of having faith is also trusting in yourself and having that mindset, and being smart enough and social enough and being able to connect with people enough, and also being unique enough, being good enough at what you do, finding your niche to be able to build a career basically from scratch. I think that's the real difficult part of working as someone that's in the creative sphere. It's that extra bit of having to build your own path and find your own way, because nothing is really set out for you, more so than whether it's a practical use or not, because there's a shit ton of jobs that are not practical. It's just that you have to be able to find them.
It's either like being able to find them, and if you can't find them, and if they don't align with who you are and what you want to exude, then you have to create that yourself, where there's no, in like a practical job, there's not really like a whether or not it like essentially vibes with you. It's like whether or not you are useful to that thing, or your skills apply to that job. And it's very like, in a sense, like black and white. It's either like they need an engineer for something, or they need like a coder for whatever, or a programmer, or they don't.
Yeah.
You know, and if they do need a programmer, like, are you qualified? Do you know everything that you need to know in order for you to get hired at that job?
Yeah.
Or for us, it's like, are we, like, have we found our niche? Are there people that support what we do? Are there people that connect with what we do? Is it personable? Are we continuously personable?
Are we able to continuously gather that amount of attention and audience and be able to have our stuff resonate with enough people for us to build a solid career out of? And I think that's also true for a lot of the creatives that we kind of look up to, both in this podcast and just personally. Because if you look at someone like Jeff from Rooster Teeth,
Jeff Laser Ramsey.
Jeff Laser Ramsey, spelled wrong, right? He made his own career path. Like, there's nothing out there that is remotely like the company he started, and the entertainment industry does not even humor what he was trying to do back in the time that he was trying to start it initially.
Like, truly like a trailblazer.
Yeah, he is truly someone that has found what they want to do and loved it and be so passionate about it and put so much time and effort into that thing that he gathered people around him to push towards that common goal, and eventually was able to create something out of nothing, essentially, you know. And it's a very difficult thing to do, and also a lot of times it's, you know, right place, right time, luck. But you have to also think about the fact that, yes, right place, right time, but he or some people like him put in an incredible amount of work towards something that's basically a void at the time to be able to get to where he is.
And if you don't put any kind of like time, or if you're not exposing yourself constantly and trying to get that attention, that like you might miss that window of somebody who's looking for something that is exactly what you are. Yeah. I think right now I'm like kind of struggling with the whole creative like aspect. Like, I don't really know what my creative,
or what you want to do.
Yeah, I don't really know what my creative juice is. I mean, like, music, like that's like what I know the best, and that's what I like the best. But I don't create anything. I don't put anything out there. There's not something that I mean, it's really just like a create thing. I don't create anything. I don't put anything out there. I'm not doing anything with the thing that I'm passionate about. It's like, it almost feels more like a hobby than it is like a passion for me, which is like if anything, it's the scariest part, where like I don't practice it. I don't think about it constantly every day. It's not part of my day to day. You know, I think like right now I'm in a spot of like a more of like a survival type. Like, am I meeting all the requirements, or like the bare minimum for me to be here? Like, am I fulfilling all of my responsibilities in such a way that nobody really has to worry about me all that much? You know, like, I'm like truly like in a neutral space right now where nobody's worried about me, but I also feel like, I mean, this is kind of self-deprecating, but like not necessarily exceptionally proud of me. You know, I haven't done anything super crazy, you know? But yeah. This is, I hope this music is coming through.
I hope not.
This is like the Chinese beaver. Jake, can you say some stuff in Chinese that's like kind of inspirational? Can you translate what you were saying into Chinese? And then we'll take the beaver.
Can we have AIU say the translations? You just say it in Chinese right now, and then we have a translation over you.
No, just like say something like inspirational, and we'll take the Chinese beaver and put your audio over it.
I can edit that.
Is the Chinese beaver copyright free? I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
It's been posted like everywhere at this point.
I thought you were
like
different.
It's like I'm getting cold right now.
Are you cold?
It's 6. So.
Okay, well, yeah, we can go, like, let's wrap this up. We'll actually go inside and then we'll do the tier list. Yeah.
Yeah.
You still want to do the tier list video?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, closing thoughts. We're depressed. We're broke. We're trying to figure our shit out. If you want to help us not be broke and you want to help us figure it out, and
if you want the Sigma values to impose on us and our values go up,
if you want us to find,
Keep
high
sharing
value
this out
women
there.
that aren't leftovers, jeez, that's a terrible fucking thing. I hate that. Then follow us on everything, like Instagram, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, TikTok, Patreon, Pornhub and OnlyFans aren't up. They will be eventually whenever I get my shit together. Rate the podcast. Share it with your friends. Share specifically episode 19 with your friends.
Don't.
And if it's polarizing enough,
God
then they
damn it.
might be like, "Wow, these guys are fucking unhinged. I like them," And if you don't think that your friend is gonna like be into the whole polarizing bits, like don't show them the first episode either, because I talk about killing a dog.
We talked about it in this episode too.
Well,
That was a cat.
yeah, no, you talked about trying to convince me to kill a cat.
And then you talked about killing a lobster.
And then you also talked about killing half the population or more of the
I think
population.
it's very unfortunate that this episode, the latter half of it and the front half of it is pieced together in such a way that you have to listen to both.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense if you don't listen to the whole thing. So,
Hold on, watch this.
holding.
但係我覺得而家對於我哋嚟講最重要嘅嘢係我真係好急尿，我飲咗太多水，同埋亦都飲咗好多咖啡因，所以我覺得我哋應該從而家開始好努力地去廁所。That's it. That's all I got.
What did you say? I have to translate into Spanish for our Spanish viewers.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. It
Can
was,
I put the beaver over that too?
I wasn't gonna actually translate
you're
it, but
gonna
because of
We
that,
can cut it,
I
we
have
can
to
cut it, we can
translate
cut it.
No,
So
it's
I-
fine. It's
You're
fine.
gonna
It's
have to cut this part out and give it to me so then I can put the
fine.
beaver
put the beaver
over
right
it.
have
No,
to put the
I
beaver
don't.
over it.
I
We
don't
have
think
to
you
do
guys are ready for the translation.
What happened? What
I
was
said
the-
the most important thing for us right now is that I really need to piss. I drank too many fucking water and I also had a lot of caffeine.
Okay,
so the most
okay.
important thing is to end and just go piss.
Okay. So I'm gonna say that, but in
You
Spanish,
cut that
just
out. You cut
just
that
yeah,
out.
just
Yeah,
cut
yeah,
that
yeah.
part
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then I'll okay.
Okay.
Back to
La-
back.
Oh, wait, hold
after-
on. Do the Spanish version first, and then yeah.
La cosa más importante es que tenemos que hacer el pipí porque tomamos mucho líquidos y tomamos mucho cafeína y tenemos que terminar este podcast y ya necesitamos terminarlo y seguir. Nos seguimos en todos los sociales, en Instagram, Twitter, X, todas esas cosas. Por favor, no queremos ser pobres por el resto de nuestras vidas y ya. Perdón si mi gramática es lo más perro en todo el mundo. No soy como completamente fluente. Ok. Adiós, compas.
And then you cut that part out. And then you play those back to back right at the end.
We put the Chinese beaver over it, and we find the song that the Chinese beaver has over it, and then we just put that in the middle.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.